Hello everyone. Today I'm gonna be doing a ranking of all the Halloween films in the Halloween franchise, and I'm gonna be doing also the Halloween 6 producer's cut and the theatrical cut. So that's like an extra one. And that's the only extra one I'm gonna be doing. So let's just get right into this. Before I start, a lot of my opinions are gonna be kind of like we watched a movie Halloween film ranking, and my opinions might be a little like coerced by theirs, but because they had some good points. So I'm just gonna begin. The worst movie in the Halloween franchise is Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. I was fucking bored watching this movie. The most recent time I watched it, I've seen it like I don't know. I think I've seen every single movie at least 3 times. So this one, it's just a horrible movie. He ruined Michael Myers. He ruined Loomis. Like destroyed Loomis. Loomis is no longer even what he was. Laurie, she went through some stuff in the first movie, but like she had pictures of goddamn serial killers on her wall. Like who the fuck? You were just attacked by a serial killer, and you're having like PTSD from that, and then I'm gonna hang a picture of Charles Manson on my wall because like what the hell, or whoever was on her wall. And his mask is like not even a mask in the movie. It's just it's the mask in the previous movie but destroyed. Like a stripper rips off a piece of it. I will have to give credit though. The first 30 minutes of this movie is pretty good. I don't like it's a kind of an homage back to the Halloween for the original Halloween 2 hospital scene, and it's actually a pretty good 30 minutes because Michael's really like violent in the first 30 minutes. He's just like tearing through shit, and then there's this one scene where Laurie's in like a little shed, and Michael's like taunting her by looking at it and like hitting with an axe, and he's grunting in that scene, which I don't like, but he's still such a badass in that scene. And it's a dream scene, and the rest of the movie is a shit show. So yeah, it's like also there's like a little in the scene where she's in the little shed. There's like little music playing in the background on TV. It's kind of ominous and creepy. So I kind of like that. But other than that, the movie was fucking horrible. And as a standalone movie, it was. I mean, like if you took Michael Myers, like if you switched the characters' names and took out the mask and some of the Halloween aspects, it wouldn't be a fucking Halloween movie. Like you wouldn't even know it was or maybe that was a stupid thing to say. I don't know. It was a horrible movie, and I just didn't like it. Like, Michael's walking around half the time with his mask off, which makes no sense. He's like, they basically turn him into Jason Voorhees, like, where he's following his mom around. There's a fucking white horse in it, and he's, like, seeing visions. It's really, like, there's some badass scenes in it. Oh, no, I'm sorry about my camera. There's some badass scenes in the movie, but, like, overall, it's just not a very good movie. So that's on the worst one on the list. The next worst movie is Resurrection, and Resurrection is it's not horrible, but it's a pretty bad movie because Busta Rhymes kicks the shit out of Michael Myers. He literally like taps him on the head, and he's like, "Hey, yo, Mikey!" Like he doesn't know it's Michael, but he's tapping him on the head, like giving him orders. It's like, no, Michael would just stab you in the fucking face and cut your head off, like like Michael's a bitch in the movie basically. There's like lines where it's like, "Happy Halloween, Michael," and then like, "Trick or treat, motherfucker," and it's just like, oh my god. Like it might have been cool if you liked Busta Rhymes, but for the Halloween fans, they ruined Halloween. The ending was pretty good though, because there's potential for a sequel, because he opens his eyes when he's on the surgery table. All you really need is to like show that scene, and you got a movie for you basically. Like you just go on from there. There was like the characters were just boring. The final girl was okay, but there's one scene in the movie that I really like. It's like this ominous, or it's not ominous. It's like just this weird kind of like creepy suburban but this he gets there in a stupid way. But Michael gets kicked out the window by Busta Rhymes. Like he gets kung fu kicked out the window, which is stupid, but he then, like, he's got a wire around his neck and he gets caught on something and he's, like, hanging there. And he's just hanging there, like over the porch. And then, like, the camera, one of the cameras, which they do a lot in this movie, they take the cameras and make it so that those cameras are what's showing. Like, it's like people have, like, head cams and stuff. It's like, it was trying to fit in with the times, and it probably was good for the time, but it didn't age very well. But so Michael's just hanging there, and there's, like, a dog barking in the background, and, like, it reminded me very much of, like, a suburban kind of area. And it's just creepy. But, yeah. There's the plot. There's the first, like, couple, or 30 minutes or something like that of it, like, kind of like Rob Zombie's one, is pretty good when Michael kills Laurie. But then she, like, kisses him on the mask, and she's like, "See you in hell, Michael." And he's just like, it's just, I don't know, it wasn't that good of a scene, but it was pretty good. It just felt cheap, though. Like, it felt like a cheap way to get Laurie, because she just didn't, I think the Jamie Lee Curtis just didn't really want to be there. Like, she thought she was done Halloween 2 in 1981, and then she thought H2O was, like, the final one, which, it was really, really smart. Like, it was a really creative way how they, made it so that Michael wasn't the one that Laurie chopped his head off, but that was, like, the perfect ending. But I'll talk about that when I get to H2O. So, yeah, overall, Resurrection, the reason I'm putting Resurrection over Rob Zombie's H2O is because Michael's actually in the movie. In Halloween 2, Rob Zombie, he talks at the end, which is just not even Michael Myers. He doesn't wear his mask. He's just not Michael Myers anymore. It's just like a hillbilly with a Michael Myers mask on that kills people and eats dogs. But yeah. So that's my ranking for Resurrection. Yeah, so Halloween 3. I'm only putting Halloween 3 here as a movie. I haven't seen Halloween 3 that many times. I've seen, like, I think this is the only one of the franchises I've seen, like, only once or twice. I mean, twice, yeah. Twice, definitely. No, 3 times. No, yeah, twice. But I don't like how it's named Halloween. It was actually really, in my mind, it's like, naming it Halloween was really smart. Because you could have, like, different stories. Like, you have the Michael Myers story of a story that happens on Halloween. And then you have Halloween 3. And then they could have done, like, another story for Halloween 4. Like, it was actually a really creative title. And if they didn't just go with the Michael Myers route, it would have been a really good title for, like, different things. Like, it's like that Holidays movie on Netflix. Or I don't know if it's just on Netflix. But where they have, like, different stories for each holiday. They could have just done different stories for Halloween. Like, they did the witch one. They did the Michael Myers escaped one. They could have done, like, I don't know, like Trick or Treat in the movie. But yeah, they could have done that, and then they could have, like, tied in some of the stories. But it was a good movie. I really like the masks; they're iconic, especially the pumpkin one. It looks really nice. And actually, I like them all. But they're really cool masks, and they're actually referenced in Halloween 2018. But the movie itself, it's cool. Like, how there's the masks, like, crush the kid's head, and then they play the commercial, and then the ending, he gets one of the commercials off the TV, but then there's another one, he's like, no, and then the movie ends. It didn't really go anywhere after that. Like, Dr. Chalice is a pretty good character, and overall, it's a pretty good movie. I don't know that much to say about Halloween 3, other than I haven't seen it that much. Like, I've seen it enough time to know what happens, and to talk about it and review it, but I don't know. I put it the third worst on the list because when I watch Halloween, I want Michael. You know, I really like Michael, so I'm just gonna leave that there. So we got Halloween 2, Resurrection, and then Halloween 3. Number 4, or we could go number, I don't know. The next movie, Halloween 5. The mask looks idiotic in the movie. Like it's fucking, like, the hair's back on it. It looks like a goddamn alien thing. And it's untucked the whole movie. Now, the actor for it did a really good job. What's his name? Don Post, I think? No, not Don Post. No. I don't think so. I don't know. It might be Don Post. I don't remember. It's not, though. I don't think. It might be. I don't know. It doesn't matter. So the actor actually did a really good job. But the thing is, they killed off Rachel, the final girl from the last movie. They killed her off, like, right away. And she was actually a really good character. Then, oh my god, there's those stupid cops, too, when they're walking. There's the music. But there's that. Those cops are stupid. Uh, Rachel, I don't like how she dies at the start. It's just like, she could have been a good character. And that whatever Faye's character is it Tina? Yeah, Tina. She's like doesn't even care. Like, yeah, I guess you don't really know Jamie, but like she just leaves her when she's like Jamie's like screaming for her. And I guess you think like, oh, she's just like, in a psych ward or whatever. She's like a crazy kid. But still like you give her some sympathy. I don't know. I really wish they didn't kill. I really wish they killed Tina at the start and then kept Rachel. But whatever. They kind of did Rachel dirty there. What else is there? The ending is really good. Like the Halloween. When Loomis is beating him. Not the ending, but like the ending with Loomis beating Michael. With the wood, and he tranks him, and the chain net falls on him, and Loomis has like a heart attack or something and falls on him. But yeah, and he's like yelling, "Die, die." That was a good part. Cookie Woman came from that movie. That was on We Watch the Movie, they always reference that. It's funny. I like how Michael, there's a scene where he switches out his mask to like trick Tina into thinking that it's her boyfriend, and his name's Michael, but he like kills him early. He killed Tina's boyfriend earlier with like a farming equipment, and just like and puts it in his forehead, and after he scratches his car. But there's some pretty good kills in the movie overall, I'd say. Like when he scythes that one girl and he like stabs the pitchfork. That scene felt very Friday the 13th though. Like those people having sex in the barn, and then Michael just stabs them. And those kittens. There's the kittens in that scene. And there's also the scene where Michael's driving, and he's about that's kind of like the first time Michael like almost killed a kid, was when he was driving towards Jamie. Well, other than the last movie, but when he was trying to kill her. But when he was trying to kill that little boy, when he was driving towards him, but like Michael must have been driving so slow, because he was driving and those people were running from him. Like he was in a car and they were running. It was like, what the fuck? How is that even possible? He must have been driving. He must have just been toying with them. If he was going full speed, he would have ran over them. And like, I think the kid's name was Billy, but he would have ran over them easily if he was driving fast enough. Probably. There was one scene where he was going through like trees, so that could have been slowing down a bit. But for most of that driving scene, he was just going through an open field. And then there's the scene in the forest. But yeah. I don't know. It's just like, also there's the opening when Michael's going through the river. That's kind of cool. It's weird how it looks like he's going through like the lazy river at those theme parks or whatever. But it's just like, it was kind of cool. But the mask like switches. Like it's a Halloween 4 mask when he's getting shot by the shotguns. He's like dancing when he's getting shot, but it looks like he's kind of dancing in a really bad dance. But so he's doing that, and then it falls in the mine shaft, and then they throw the dynamite down, which they actually added in Halloween 5. They didn't do that in the 4th one, or they didn't show it anyways. But he crawls out the mine shaft into a river, and then his mask is just changed. It's like, what the hell? Why can't you just keep the same mask? And maybe not to keep the Halloween 4 mask, but well, it would have been whatever. At least that mask was tucked in and wasn't like, I mean, it looked kind of, I don't know. It looked bad when it wasn't tucked in. But I kind of like seeing when he's stabbing into the grate when Jamie's trying to crawl up, and he's stabbing in it, and she steps on the knife at one point. It's actually kind of cool. But yeah, because that would be scary. Like if she falls and she's dead, and it's just like, it'd be terrifying to think of. Like getting, like, there's a fucking guy trying to kill you right outside of the box, and you're just sitting in there, like, trying to crawl up, trying not to fall, like, holding on to the edge. Like, there's nothing she's standing on. She's just pushing against the edge so she doesn't fall down. But that's really cool. And, like, Loomis kind of went batshit crazy in this one. Like, he was, like, using Jamie as bait to get Michael into that room where he beat him with the wood. And yeah, he was going crazy in the movie. But then there's the very ending when they, apparently, I mean, I don't know from experience, but it kind of makes sense that you take someone's mask off and you arrest them. Like, Michael's sitting in his jail cell with his mask on, playing with his little things. Oh, he also cries. I forgot about that. He cries in this movie. He takes off his mask and he cries. Like, he doesn't cry full on, but he has a tear when Jamie's, like, talking. And then he's like, no, I don't want to cry. And he puts his mask on and he's just raging and throwing shit everywhere. Because he has that, like, coffin area set up for Jamie in the attic. and he has like the bodies hung up, and he has like Max, which looks like a stuffed dog. But whatever. So he does that, and then Jamie goes down, and then there's the whole chase scene, and then Loomis baits her or whatever. And then there's the ending when he got booked with his mask on, and he's playing with his chains, which is just like, what the hell? He would just be standing there. He stared at a wall. He wouldn't be playing with chains if he stared at a wall for 15 years. I don't think he'd need to play with chains to entertain himself or whatever. But whatever. So then that guy, the guy who gets off a bus and kicks a puppy, the man in black, as they call him, he's introduced in this movie. And the thing is, the director in this movie apparently just left, or like he just like didn't give a story at all with the man in black. He just kind of like, sorry, I got something in my throat, but he just kind of like threw that in the movie. And yeah, that was, I don't know, it was cool for the lore of it, which actually, I take that from Mike from We Watched the Movie. He said that, and I agree with that. It's cool for the lore, because like Halloween 6 was apparently written by like a fan, so you know, and it's actually a pretty good movie too, better than this one. So overall, Halloween 5 is like pretty good movie, but it's not. It's got some kind of good scenes and memorable scenes, but overall, it's like, you know, not the best one in the franchise, definitely. So, next on the list. Next on the list is Halloween 6, the producer's cut, not the theatrical cut, the producer's cut. I'm not going to talk a lot about it. I'm just going to talk about, like, there's a scene where Michael, like, there's not a scene, it doesn't show him, like, thrusting into her, but, like, he literally has sex with his niece to make the baby in the movie. It's like, what the fuck is that? That's weird. But whatever. So, and, like, in this one, he's kind of, like, controlled. Like, he's literally, there's a scene at the very end. This is the ending scene in the producer's cut, where, like, they don't do the whole, like, where she's in a cell and, like, gets shot and then they inject goo into him and stuff like that. They don't do that. It's, Paul Rudd throws down some runes. Like, you know, I rolled a 12, you can't move. Michael's choking him. Like, he cuts his hand, which is gross. He rubs it on the ground, like, after he threw the runes down. Michael's choking him, and then he says Sam Hain, or he says Sam Hain. You actually were supposed to pronounce it Samhain, but in the movies they pronounce it Sam Hain. And then he just stops. And, like, it's like his controller disconnected or something. Like, he's, like, choking him, and he's just, like, you know, he's like, what the fuck? But I guess it was kind of cool how there's two versions of the movie. And the producer's cut, the first part of it, like, the first, like, kind of chunk of the movie, if you put that with the theatrical cut, it'd be a great movie. Like, but the ending of the producer's cut is just dog shit, in my opinion.